Hey everybody, how are we doing? Thanks very much for coming back. I know it's been a long time since I did one of these videos. I think it was back in March, the last time I did one. So I wanted to do a bit of a catch up to show you some of the stuff that I've had since then. Hope you're all keeping safe and well and you've had your jabs. Let's get moving on. Okay, so in the last video, the last autograph that I showed you was this one from Mariah May, who was a professional wrestler. So the first autograph that I've got to show you in this new video is from Jeffrey Beavers, who's been in loads and loads of stuff, but probably for me best known as, or at least the autograph I sent him was as the crispy version of the Master. So I sent him this picture, which he's put to Carl, all the best, Jeffrey Beavers, the Master, and put a new body at last, which is quite cool. I sent this via his agent when the agencies hadn't quite opened up properly yet because things were still a little bit in lockdown, but I knew he was replying, his agency was sending, so I sent this in and it was a pretty quick turnaround. I think about 4 months, pretty decent considering. So yeah, happy to have that back from Jeffrey Beavers to add to the Doctor Who collection. Next up were a couple of signed pictures. So this was right at the end of March. I got these back from Stuntman, and he's been a stuntman in so much stuff, but Indiana Jones and Superman as an example. Vic Armstrong. Interestingly enough, I've actually worked with Vic once before on a TV series called The Indian Doctor. Really nice guy. He told me some great stories about his time working on Superman. But I decided to send off to him. This is him in the Superman garb. Obviously, Christopher Reeve's version of Superman. And he is, as I say, stunt double for Harrison Ford in the Indiana Jones films as well. So sent those off to him via his company, and you can find the details online fairly easily, and got both those back signed. Took about a month, which is really cool. Next up is a bit of an odd one. It's from a former Page 3 girl, Stephanie Marion. Decided to do a bit of look around to look for some of the original sort of Page 3 glamour models, and Stephanie's one of the earliest ones that I could find where I could get contact details. But I got a bit of a bizarre reply from her. I actually sent her this picture, and what I got back was she'd actually sent. So I didn't get this picture back. This is the picture I sent to her. She actually sent me back one of her own pictures, which I can't put on here, otherwise I have to censor it. But she sent me the picture back, and she sent me a card with this on it, which said, "Dear Carl, hope you don't mind me keeping the picture of me and my beloved cat Charlie. He was my baby and meant the world, so thank you." So yeah, so I sent her that picture of her with her cat, and she actually kept it. And sent me back another picture, and then she actually signed the back of it then, to Carl, all the best, Stephanie Marion. So a little bit bizarre that she kept my picture and sent that back, but still nice to get returned from her. It was via private address. It took about 5 days, which is bonkers. I may resend her and see if I can get to sign the front of a picture again, but cool to get that all the same. Next reply, somebody I already have, but I'm trying to build up my Wicker Man collection. I'm a huge fan of the original Wicker Man, not that abomination that Nicolas Cage did. I've already sent off to Leslie Mackey before, who plays Daisy in the original Wicker Man film. She's the character you can see. She's actually signed above her name here. She's the character in the yellow top with the blue sort of dungarees, I guess. But I didn't. It wasn't this picture I'd sent. It was a different one, but I like this. So I sent her this. She signed it, Leslie Mackey, exactly the same she did before. She signed it in a gold pen and then went over the top with a black pen over the top of it. And then on the back, she's put "Wicker Wishes, Leslie Mackey, Daisy," and she's sent me one of these before. This little like sticker thing that says "Poor little thing," with her playing with the beetle that's tied to a nail in her desk, and that's what her character does in the film. So nice to get another reply from Leslie Mackey to add to the Wicker Man collection. Next up, again, somebody I've written to previously, Sue Jones-Davis. I'm a huge Monty Python fan. She was in Monty Python's Life of Brian. She played Judith. I've written to her loads of times, and she's always signed the back of the pictures with a ballpoint pen. So this time around, I sent her a Sharpie to ask if she could sign the front of the pictures. It didn't actually come off as well as I'd hoped. So she's written "Best wishes, Sue Jones-Davis" there, but the pen actually doesn't look that good. Entirely my fault. I sent a gold pen. I thought it would look good, but it doesn't. But it's okay. And then she's also sent this one back, but she hasn't signed it. She's put "Best wishes from the Welsh Tart," which is sort of the title that her character's given in Life of Brian. So I'm almost certainly going to write to her again at some point, but probably send a black Sharpie this time instead, rather than a gold one, to make up for my mistake. Next up was a private address return from Candida Doyle, who is one of the musicians in the band Pulp. I've loved Pulp since I was in my teens. I've seen them play live, love their music. But obviously they've disbanded, they're not together anymore. But I managed get in touch with Candida, and she gave me a private address to send to. So I sent her 2 pictures. She's the only female, obviously, in pulp, so it's quite obvious who she is there. And she signed and returned them. Hey, Carl, love Candida, this one. And then she's put to Carl, love Candida as well on this one. So really cool. She's the only member of Pulp that I've got a reply from. I'm doing a bit of research into some of the others. Jarvis is a bit tricky unless you meet him in person. But the others, I'm slowly working on to see if I can get something signed from them. So we'll see how that goes. Another private address, and to be perfectly honest, a lot of the stuff I've been sending recently has been to private addresses, just because I know agencies have been a bit hit and miss with COVID and everything else. So I've been doing some private address sendings, and it's this one I sent to Prunella Scales. Her private address isn't that hard to find, to be perfectly honest. Took a little bit of research, but wasn't that hard to find. Love Fawlty Towers, big fan. I've already got stuff signed by John Cleese, and I've got stuff signed by Connie Booth. Obviously, Andrew Sachs sadly has passed away. I wasn't sure whether Prunella would sign, because I'm not sure exactly what. I think she may have early on, or she may have some sort of dementia. I'm not entirely sure, but she's still cognizant enough at the moment to be signing, and so I've sent to her. I only sent her 1 picture because I wasn't sure what her sort of her health was like, but she signed it, so I may write to her again. But she sent I sent this Fawlty Towers picture, and she's put best wishes, Carl, Prunella Scales, and she did write a message on the back, something like thank you so much for writing to me, I really appreciate the letter, or something along those lines. So really cool to add Prunella, who I've never had before, to my collection. Next up is another return from Derek Jacobi. I've had Derek Jacobi before. I sent him this picture. It's kind of a multi-master sign picture. He plays, for those who don't know, he plays Professor Yana, or otherwise known as the Master in Doctor Who. Sorry, spoilers if you haven't seen that episode, but really you should be up to date by now. You can see he's signed at the top here. I've taken a bit of a punt on this, and I've sent it out. I'm hoping to try and get it multi-signed. I've sent it to John Sim. And as of yet, I've not had anything back. I got this back in end of April, so I would have sent it not long afterwards. It's only been a couple of months, but I've not had anything back yet. If I get it back signed by John Sim, then I may send it on to Jeffrey Beavers as well to get him to sign it. Sacha Darwin was signing kind of pre-pandemic, but I think he's changed agency now, so he's probably likely one of the only ones that I'm going to be able to get to sign on this. So if John Sim does send it back, I may take a punt and send it on to Jeffrey Beavers and start a multi-sign piece. But if I don't, then this is the only copy of this I've got, and it's lost in the ether. We'll have to wait and see. And moving on is another, again, a lot of stuff I've done here I've been sending to people that I've had replies from in the past. I'd like to kind of tap into a little bit more. So this one is from Jenny Evans. Twin Town is one of my all-time favourite films. If you've not seen it, you really need to. It's brilliant. She plays Bonnie Cartwright in the film. So I sent her 3 pictures via private address again. So, and all these private addresses I'm not sharing because they are private addresses, you know. They're private addresses. I've taken the time to find them. People have, been kind enough to sign. I'm not going to share the addresses, unfortunately. But if you do the research like I did, I'm sure you can find them yourselves if you really want to. So I sent her 3 Twin Town pictures. I sent her this one, which she signed Jenny Evans. You can see her there between Clear Evans and Rhys Evans. She signed this one here, Jenny Evans, again of her as Bonnie Cartwright, and then she signed this Twin Town sort of poster, I guess. And I've actually sent this out to a number of other actors within the Twin Town series, and I'll show you some of the returns I got from them. But it has been multi-signed. I've finished it now as a multi-signed piece, but we'll see that as we move forward in this video, or possibly the next video, depending on how long this video takes. Okay, next up is yet another private address. It's from actress Felicity Kendall. I think she is signing via her agent, but I found an address for her online, which I took a punt at, and it worked because she signed my pictures. She's best known for The Good Life. She's been in Doctor Who, most recently probably Pennyworth, the DC series Pennyworth. I've sent her 2 pictures. This one from The Good Life. It's not very clear in the photo, but she has signed it, as you can see, kind of down across the legs of her character and Richard Breyer's character. And then I sent her this one, which is a little bit better. She has signed it across the black bit, but it's better. So she signed both of those for me. So those were returns from Felicity Kendall. I'm not sure how long they took. Probably only about a week or 2. And this was the beginning of May that these returns started coming back. Next up were a couple of returns from Adrian Hall, who's probably best known as playing the boy whose name is completely gone out of my head from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It might come back to me, but honestly, it's just popped out of my head. But he plays the young boy in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. So I sent him these pictures. I'm not going to put his name on here. If you know what it is, great. I can't remember. Jeremy. There we go. Jeremy. From Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. So he signed it here. Adrian Hall. I love this picture. This is great from the child catcher scene where they're all playing the sort of the puppets. And then this picture as well with them in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I didn't realise till after I got it back that it's actually reversed because the number plate's backwards. So it's actually been reversed, but there we go, never mind. So he signed that. Best wishes, Jeremy Hall, as well. And then he also sent me a really nice letter saying, thank you for your letter. Hope the signature's okay. Best wishes, Adrian. So yeah, really cool to get those back from Adrian. They were via his agents. You can find it online. But really nice guy and happy to add that to the collection. Next up was Saturday the 8th of May, and from George Rubicek. I only sent him this one picture. He's probably best known for Star Wars, but he's been in Doctor Who, James Bond, etc. He plays Commander Praji in Star Wars, and this is the picture I sent. It's like it's a photo, but it looks like a sort of a custom, like a Topps card type thing. And he signed it in gold, George Rubicek, and sent that back to me. Pretty quick turnaround. I can't remember how long it was, but I think it was pretty quick. And that was Saturday the 8th of May. And then it was a bit of a jump then, because I didn't get anything for a long time. I did buy this book from a sort of a charity shop. I think it cost about 20p. And it's a signed book by author and journalist Andrew Marr. So I picked up the book. It was just on the shelf in their sort of secondhand book range. And as you can see here, it's his book, My Trade, A Short History of British Journalism, signed by Andrew Marr. You know, I'm not that much of a fan of Andrew Marr, but it was only about 20p, so I couldn't really say no to it, could I? I'm going to stop there because there's still a few things to show, so I will do a second video shortly. So hopefully, please stay tuned. Keep an eye out for the next video. It will take you right through until today's date, which is Thursday, the 5th of August. Yeah, thanks for watching this, and please keep an eye out for the next video, which will be coming very soon. Thank you.